President,
So.
I'm seeing a question in the chat. Should I defer to your choices, or should I see one on?
If you see something, go for it.
Okay, I'd like to answer this one because it's one of the most common questions we get. The question is, as I understand it, the church has no doctrine regarding moving from one state of glory to the next. Is that something you believe? And President, I appreciate the fact that you indicated at the beginning of the fireside that this isn't official church doctrine that anybody is hearing. So Fiona and I would never claim to speak authoritatively. We would never claim to be interpreting or propounding doctrine. What we are propounding is history. The history of Latter-day Saint thought and ideas and teachings. And we can say with a high degree of confidence that Joseph Smith and Brigham Young and Lorenzo Snow and most of the early prophets and leaders of the church emphatically taught that we can progress from kingdom to kingdom. This was a commonplace in the church until about the 1960s, when there was a reaction against that teaching by Joseph Fielding Smith, and then by his son-in-law, Bruce R McConkie, who was very vocal in opposing that doctrine, leaving members.
He called it a heresy, didn't he?
He called it 7 deadly heresies.
Heresy, yeah.
That's right. And so this left saints confused. And so on at least 2 separate occasions, individuals wrote to the First Presidency asking for clarification. And on both occasions, the First Presidency wrote back and said, there is no official teaching. So you can be a member, Orthodox, in good standing, and believe in either way. My wife and I believe that Robert D. Hales, in the quotation that she
missed,
referenced, no, you referenced his,
okay,
where he pled with parents of the church to never shut the door of your hearts to your children. We can't conceive of any theological reason why our Father would base our entire eternal destiny on just the few scant years that we have in this world. And so we personally, and it's our personal belief, that he would never shut the door to our progress.
That's great. Thank you.
Maybe, so Terryl pointed out in our last book, The Christ Who Heals, that it may have been, the switch may have been due to a misunderstanding of the verse in section 76, and I can't remember the verse, where I am, they cannot come, worlds without end. But worlds without end was a 19th century appellation for God. He has many names.
Just a
and that was
Hebraism
one of them.
That means a long time.
Exactly. And they weren't aware of that. They're not theologians. They're not Hebrew scholars. So that could be an explanation for the shift.
Also, I think the danger is that many people who aren't really good critical thinkers mistake universal opportunity for automatic.
Oh, true.
And nothing that any of the brethren have ever said can be taken to mean God guarantees that all of us will be saved.
Yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty, does not exist in our church.
It's just we'd rather call it the no final buzzer teaching. Everybody gets a free ticket teaching.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a beautiful doctrine, eternal progression, and that makes sense what you're saying. Again, just to reiterate what you said about official church positions on this, the 3 of us aren't qualified for that, but I think it's good to get that insight at the same time. So hopefully it's asked, the question that's been asked there's been some help for you in your own searching.